This meeting is being recorded.
All righty. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Serenity Cards and Coaching. My name is Leela Mikey. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and super excited to share some fun stuff with you today. Our main focus is going to be about Pearlized Enamel Effects basics, but lots of samples with the Boughs of Holly. So these are the 4 cards we're going to make today. And I'll tell you now and then I'll show you at the end. I do have kind of a mini kit available. I only have 4. They're already programmed on my site, and I didn't do any die cuts. All I did was provide the kit ingredients. I don't really have step-by-step instructions. I have kind of recipe cards, ingredients, and measurements. That's it. So it's a little different than what I normally do. And I'm so excited. I love these pearlized enamel effects. So we're just going to have fun. So here's our 4 cards. 1, that's vellum. 2, 3, can't wait to tell you how I got those leaves done. And 4, this is like a little journal card I like to make this time of year. So those are the 4 cards we're going to make. And truly, interrupt me if you need measurements. I kind of have just a recipe card, not step by step. But let's go ahead and let's do our very first card. And you guys, the products that we're featuring today, we're featuring the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper. And sad to report, you can't get it right now. So here's the thing. We're getting to that time of year. The mini's been out for a while, and things are starting to sell out, and we don't know if they'll be back in time or whatever. So I told you I do have 4 kits, but here's the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper we're featuring today. And in the kit, I've also thrown in a couple of extra things. But and we're going to feature the stamps and some of the dies that match with it. So this is the Leaves of Holly stamp set. And then there's dies that coordinate with it. And I've got a bunch of samples from my swaps at the end. So that's it. That's the product focus. And as we have other product things to highlight, I'll go along. I really let myself go. So I pulled in different ingredients and different bundles, etc. So we've got our real red cardstock base. We know that's just our 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. We've got our inside, that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then on the front, I've got a piece of the striped designer series paper. And again, I can make this available to everybody actually, but this evening evergreen striped pattern is 3 3/4 by 5. So you can tell I took it in a little bit from the edges. So that's 3 3/4 by 5. And then and don't worry about writing it down. Just ask me for it. I'll get you the PDF. And then I took in the basic white by 1/4 inch. And this is the time worn type 3D embossing folder. And I know that there's some people with new machines right now. So I wanted to show you what the sandwich is for when you roll this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So just very briefly, if this is your base with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you've got your number 1 right there, the sandwich for the time worn type, and this is a 3D embossing folder, and you can tell because it's in the name, and you can tell that it's really, really thick compared to others. So you're going to put your sheet of basic white in there, and then your sandwich is just 1 plate on top of it. So even though it says 1 and then 3, there is no 2 for this one. So it's your base and then your 3D embossing folder and then your 3, and you roll it through, and then you're going to get a really, really nicely embossed piece of cardstock. So Peggy, I wanted to share that with you because I know you're new to embossing with the machine. And so that was one of the sandwich types we talked about. So I just wanted to show you that. And Peggy, how did it go? I know that you used your new machine the other day. How'd that go?
I did. It was kind of scary because it was really hard to put that sandwich through, but it did go through, and it turned out just fine.
All righty. There's a tip, and I don't have my machine here, but when you roll it through, the idea is you push it. Of course, you always have the corner edge on the part that goes through first. And you kind of get this up to where it hits the rollers good and snug. And then you start rolling and it should take. And there's like a little, you might kind of like you're needling, you're putting a needle in a thread. You might like get the nose down a little bit.
Okay.
You might nose it down a little bit and you get it good and stuck in the rollers and then you turn and it's going to go through. But
Okay. Yeah,
great,
I
great
think I
job.
had my folder. I think I had my folder like up at the top instead of having. I noticed that you had the folder down a little bit.
I do. I put my folder right there. I
Yeah.
put my sandwich right there. I do have the fold at this end though. And then I
Yeah.
put it like that. And I might even tip that down a little. So I'm like putting a needle in a thread.
Got
a
it.
thread in the
Thank
needle.
you.
So there's a little nose. So there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So now we're getting this layered up. And that's our, those are a couple layers. And again, I'm using this for this style, but this is a beautiful style with any, this is just a great sketch you could do anytime, right? So now we've got that guy. Just to remind you, if you get this kit from me, I'm not giving any die cut pieces. I know that I always give die cut pieces. I'm not. So I'm just giving the card bases. And really what I wanted to do, since I did have one pack of the designer series paper and you can't order it right now, I just broke that into 4 kits. I think my glue is a little gummed up. So I broke that into 4 kits. So really it's just the consumables. So I'm going to get my oval, just a little bit of glue on my oval. I don't have to have it everywhere because I'm going to put it just right in the center right there. And now the fun begins. I mean, it's all fun. It's really all fun, but, oh, I can glue this too. And then I'm going to show you the enamel effects. Oh my gosh, I love them. I love mixed media. So those of you that got on early, I was telling you, I sat down yesterday. Oopsie, I'll clean that up a little bit with a baby wipe, but I sat down yesterday to do, I really wanted to make like elegant cards. And what came out was I really started playing with these pearlized enamel effects. All right, I'm gluing on this surface here and it's a little bumpier. So, and I didn't put a lot of glue. So I'm just going to come in. I just come in if I've got some extra glue, I'll catch it right away and I'll wipe it off. But then if you don't have a glue eraser and we don't sell them, that's a great thing to come in after the fact and do some glue erasing if in fact you have some extra glue. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Here's what I want to show you. These are the textural elements from Stampin' Up, and they're also in the kit that I have available, so it's all the consumables, and they're also not orderable right now. So one way you can work with these textural, I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with these things? Well, one way you can work with them is you can take your Evening Evergreen blend, and I think I'm using the lighter color. So this is Evening Evergreen, and those are the colors in Boughs of Holly. There's Evening Evergreen. I think there's Old Olive, Shaded Spruce. It's really quite rich and luscious. Anyway, I've colored that up and I just have that kind of colored nicely like that. Then, this stuff is a dream. These are Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics, and they come in basic white, real red, and then this is kind of, I guess it says black, but it's really kind of like a, I don't know, a gray, a really, really nice dark gray. And this looks very pink, but when it dries, it does dry real red and it does match. I mean, you can see it right here. This has been dried from yesterday. And if you're wondering how it dries, like, look, no, I mean, I'm not going to take a pick tool or anything on it, but it's perfectly fine. I'm touching it and nothing's happening. It's retaining its shape. So it's been drying for 24 hours. So this is how I did those. And you know what? I'm probably not going to assemble the rest of the card today. I'm going to put this off to the side and let it dry. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to adhere this. And then you guys, you would just put you would let it dry. You would put your piece in the middle. You would put your little bow there. You would stamp your Christmas wishes on a piece of basic white that matches the size of the sentiment. And the Christmas wishes came in the Leaves of Holly stamp set, so match really, really nice. That's in real red as well. So I know you guys know how to do all that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'll just show you how to do this fun piece. So I've got my Pearlized Enamel Effects, and I've got my silicone mat. And I'm still learning how to clean my silicone mat. I washed it really, really well, and it's still, I've got to figure out, I've got to go do some research how to get that off. So, because I kept washing it and I kept cleaning it and I kept soaking it. So I've got to go do some research, but it's not going to bug me for today. I will figure it out because I just bought it. So I want to keep it clean. But anyway, I am going to take the tip of this real red Pearlized Enamel Effect. And I'm just going to put it on the end. Now it's got like a peak, like if you guys ever do frosting, it's got like a peak or something, but it settles in really, really nicely. So let's see if I can show you that. It's, let's see. Wow. Oh, good.
Yes, I see it. Looks like a chocolate chip, sort of.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go around. Now, if I were to touch it now, you guys, it's gooey. So I'm going to put it off to the side. I did a bunch yesterday and I've had them sitting off to the side and I've touched them and I've been doing, I think that was, I mixed some colors, so that wasn't the real red. I mean, I've really, really been playing with a lot of them, but I'm just going to go ahead and I want it so that it's wide enough to color the circle. And so, but then not too much after that. Like I think I put a little too much on this guy. So he's just going to have a little too much on him. And then I'm just going to let it sit, honestly, for a day. I'm going to put it off to the side. Now, these make fantastic embellishments. I'll show you one of the cards. Well, I'll show you this one. So here's one where it's just like, instead of a rhinestone dot, it's a little pearlized enamel effect dot. They make fantastic dots. And you can color the white to any color that you want. So you can have any color dots. So I'm going to show you a tip. If you guys have these little mini glue dots from any of the kits that we sell, and there's different sizes, right? There's the larger and the smaller dots. You can make, like you can pre-make, I made these yesterday. So you can pre-make little dots, and now it's totally dry, and I can come over here and just pick it and just use it as an embellishment. Now, I noticed that I didn't necessarily cover all of the white cap. So when you're doing it, you want to make sure you cover all of the white cap, or if you're going to be putting it on a white background anyway, it doesn't matter. But you can just go through and get those done ahead of time. And on one of our future cards, I'll show you, we're going to mix and match colors. So you're not limited to just these three, but this is kind of a big dot. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to put it off to the side. I would do all of these up, put it off to the side, be really, really careful that it is very carefully off to the side, but then come back in a day and I'm telling you, it's just a good, nice hard surface. And then you just pick it up like you normally would with your take your pick tool. And I'll show you that while I'm here, because I remember I was just teaching a kit class and people are like, you're so good at getting that adhesive off. And it's like, well, let me take a minute and show you how. So you take the pick and you just go under the surface of the adhesive. This right here has kind of a protective surface on the top. It's like adhesive underneath. You want to get under the adhesive. Now you've got it. Now you can go take it anywhere, wherever you're going to put it, lift the top off. It's adhered underneath, and now it's like an adhesive on the top. So anyway, you just get your, and if you need to, you can just fold this a little bit and so that it curves to really help yourself get underneath there. So that's how you get under these. And that's how you can make up some of these guys ahead of time. So, so that is that guy. And just to show you, I was playing with how did it look in white, and it's a mess over here, you guys. When I play, like, oh my gosh, all bets were off. It's a mess. But I even kind of liked it in the white, right? So that was
Beautiful.
just really, really pretty. So, all right. So that was,
That's elegant.
it was elegant. You know what? I was telling when people first got on, I'm like, I wanted to make elegant. And the next thing I knew, my hands and my surface were all inky. I had Brayers out. I had, had all kinds of paint going on. But yes, actually, I really, really quite love it. I really think it's very pretty. So there you go. And I should tell you that in the kit, well, in the product, right? I mean, it just, all the elements are so pretty. In the kit, you're going to get the ruffled ribbon, not this smooth red ribbon. So either one is fine, but that I had extra of this. I didn't have extra of the ruffle. So that is card number 1. Super sweet. Any questions on that before I go to card number 2?
No, really
Try
pretty.
alcohol. Oh, sorry.
What, honey?
Try alcohol pads to get that off of your silicone mat.
Thank you. I will do that. I will absolutely do that. That's a great idea. All right. So that was card 1. And here's something I want to tell you. These are available now. They're not on back order and they are carrying over. So for those of you, not everybody knows, not everybody cares, but for those of you that are demonstrators and you're like, oh, I don't want to get something if I'm doing this as a business and if it's going to retire and I can't show it next time, it's carrying over. And so and the cottage wreath that this came with is also carrying over. So you can expect to see these again from me because now that I've discovered them, I'm smitten. All right, that is card 1. Card 2, I want to show you something fun. You guys, guess what this is? It's vellum.
It's vellum. Did you put some of that plastic stuff on it?
I rolled it through with that same folder. I rolled it through with the same folder. So let me show you how I did it. I rolled it through with the time-worn type, but you could do any embossing folder. So let me show you. I've got all the ingredients here. So here was my story. I had a piece of 8.5 by 11 vellum, and then I cut it in half. So then it was 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4 because that's what we know to do, right? Now, what did I do? Now, and I was careful to find the front of this. So if it's recessed, it's the front, and you're going to need to play with it to figure out what that means. But anyway, you want to find the front and then do the other side. So I rolled through the back first. So I put it like this. I shut it and I rolled it through. This is the top, this is the bottom. So I want to stick with a like direction. And thank goodness this wasn't like the musical notes or anything. So truly nobody knows what any of this is, but be careful with directions when you do this. But I rolled it through on one side and I wanted to do the back because it's going to have to go through again. And when it goes through again, it's going to kind of smush part of the part that already went through. So I rolled it through one way and then I turned it over and then I rolled it through the other way. And so now the top is going to be nice and bumpy like I want it to be. So you can see that the back is, I mean, doesn't this look like, I don't know, like papyrus or just some old paper or something?
Yeah.
I don't know, like an aged paper, but so it's fine. This has lost, you can tell it's lost some of its definition and the front is retaining the definition. So, so that's great. And you can tell that the front is bumpy. So when you're doing embossing, you want to pay attention to up and down and bumpy up and not bumpy down and just pick the directions you like. But then there was another kind of problem I ran into, and that was that I couldn't get something all the way to the spine. And I did not like just that plain look. So I tried putting ribbon. I don't think I have that sample here. I did one where first I put ribbon and I tied a bow, but then anyway, it's a lot of work goes on, a lot of trial and error and experimentation goes on in this little mad laboratory. But at bottom end of the day, I didn't like the ribbon. It was too thick and too much competition, and I really kind of wanted the focus here. So I ended up doing just a 1/4 inch strip, and I thought that the stripes were nice. So this is the Holly Berry Designer Series paper.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I just put a nice, like it ended up, I'll show you where we're headed. It looks kind of like a little book look is what I'm going for. So I put just that little 1/4 inch strip there, and I put tear and tape on it. So I put tear and tape, and I think our tear and tape is 1/4 inch. So I put our tear and tape all along the edge right here. I didn't care about the back, you guys, because I didn't care about the back, but I cared about the front. So, so I'm just gonna put this right here, and you will be happy to know I found my scissors. Those of you that have been following with my saga of I lost my snips, I lost my stips. They were in my purse. Yeah, I put my purse, and I'm like, oh, found my snips. Anyway, I'm grateful I found them. Okay, so
How
then,
did they get in your purse?
well, that was the day I did a workshop, right? I did a kit workshop. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I have exciting news to tell you guys. Anyway, I did a kit workshop, and I guess I was loading stuff up everywhere, and I put them in my purse. And they have like this little thing like that. But did I put them in the little thing like that? No. Anyway, my hand is fine. And I have my scissors. All right. So I made that little spine like that. Oh, you know what I think I did? I think I even further, I'm not going to do it now, but I'll show you here because I like the look of it. I came in and I like made a very intentional spine right there. So before I put that green on, I scored it. Let me make a note of that. Well, no, my recipe doesn't have instructions, just has measurements. So you can leave it just like that if you want, and it's perfectly fine. The way that I did this one, I scored it before I put the seam on. And so now it really is like a little book, and I just love that. So you can do it either way. If you're going to do this, this video is going to be your main instruction. I do have like sizes of everything in the PDF that I wrote. So anyway, you're going to put that there. Super cute. And then have you guys seen these? These are the decal dies. Now, those of you that are old school, you probably have decal scissors, which are amazing. Yay! So use your decal scissors, right? Or you might even have blades because they used to have trimmers that had decal blades. So get your
I have
decal.
a ruler too. I have the scissors and a ruler, metal ruler.
Oh my gosh. And that
Wow.
scissors was sturdy and it was long, and the ruler
Yeah.
is great. You just tear
Yeah.
against it. So, and it really does look deckled because it's like torn. It's really cool. So get your decal on however you're going to get your decal on. So we've got 2 layers, but I'm not going to adhere those first. I'm going to do my corners first. What'd you say, Lynn?
Get your decal on.
Get your
Yeah,
decal
here's
on.
my scissors and here's my ruler.
Oh, very
Oh, fun. Let's show you. Doris, let me spotlight you. That's fun. Hold on. Let's spotlight Doris.
They're
That's
Stampin'
super fun.
Up.
Ah, cool.
I think I remember we
This
used that
ruler.
ruler.
And then
So
these
good.
scissors. Yeah.
So good. You guys, Stampin' Up comes up with the best things. And you know what? Get it while you can, because then they, oops, hi. Let's look at my hands, not me. All righty. So get it while you can, because like for instance, the embossing kit that's out right now, that is also carrying over. So that's amazing.
Oh,
I don't
good.
know if that's gonna like be around forever or just until it sells out, but like get it and keep it, right? So even though I like vow to stick with using current stuff, which honestly I'm kind of contractually obligated to focus on that. So even I like, once a tool is great and it's in your library, like keep it. So so good. So now here's how I'm doing this, you guys. I am putting the corners. Who remembers where these little tabs are from? We've seen them at bingo. Who remembers? This is the Fabulous Frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Fabulous Frames dies, and we're gonna see, oh, that's actually where this oval came from. This oval is not the florets. This oval was also the Fabulous Frames
Oh,
die set.
Okay.
okay.
And by the way, guess what I noticed out there today?
Oh, man.
Florets designer series paper sold out. Florets gems sold out. And
For
like
real?
never to return again. So it's true, you guys.
Oh,
You guys, I'm telling you, they're moving to Stampin' Up is moving to more and more like online releases. And when they do it, like the Ocean Waves paper or what else, those hands, like all the groovy hands or whatever, like it's there for a month and then no
It's
guarantee. So, Cindy, I know you were asking about a product share. I can probably put a partial share together for you if you want. But yeah, that is gone, gone, gone. And you guys,
wow.
there's a fantastic sale going on right now. So, like, I wanted to order Hues of Happiness. It's on low inventory. So, if there's something you really, really want, I mean, you can check with me, like, is it sticking around or is it going away or whatever? Like Hues of Happiness, it'll be back, right? It'll be back. I know that. It's might be low inventory, might go out of stock, but it's in the annual, so it'll be here at least till April. All right, so now I've got my four corners, sweet as could be. Those are the Fabulous Frames, and I love this set of dies. And then this guy, so because it's vellum, I've been sticking with tear and tape. So I just put a couple strips here and it held nicely, and you can't really see it from behind. So I'll show you that. Oh my gosh, now I'm trying to use my scissors and they're all stuck. So tear and tape is pretty invisible behind the scenes, especially with the embossed folder, and it adheres really, really nicely. I'm just doing 2 strips. You could do more if you want it more secure. And the deckled edges, I'll tell you this, there's different size deckled edges. This one is the, oh gosh, nope, I didn't write it there. I wrote it on the last page. I'll tell you that. I'll get the ruler out. I'll show you. But basically, you can see that it fits. I'll tell you what the method to my madness was. I found this size. I tried 2 different sizes. I tried one size that would go all the way to the corner. And in fact, the next size up does go a little larger than those corners. But then you really lost the effect of the vellum. So I came in and I thought that that was just kind of a nice repeating pattern right there where you can kind of assume that it's going to close out that way and it lines up really nicely. So that is how I chose that size. I didn't do the next one biggest, which would have gone under the corners, but then you wouldn't have seen the vellum as much. And then I put this guy here. Now, I know I rolled out dies. I know I rolled out. I know I did. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we're going to take this one here because I don't know where that one is. So this is, oh, I know where I put it. Ah, no, I have another show and tell for Peggy. So Peggy and I were talking the other day about the tool that comes with the Take Your Pick. So this Take Your Pick tool has a bunch of different add-ons. It's got just the normal piercing tool. It's got a spatula end, which I love. And then it's got an add-on that has a rolly brush. So I'm not using that. I'm sorry. This is one of those tools that I told you if Stampin' Up sells it and you love it, get it and keep it forever. But you can get the same little brushy brush that fits on your Take Your Pick tool. And
You have it?
well, somewhere, but not
I
immediately.
have it. I have it.
Not immediately at my fingertip, but it's going to do the same thing. And so I just wanted to show
Here
you.
it is. It's this.
All right, let's show Doris. Hold on. Hold on. Let's show Doris. Perfect. And it fits just right on the end.
Yeah.
And the end, so thank you, Doris. And the end that you're going to do, I'll show you because Peggy was asking about that. So the end that you're going to use is, you're not going to use the one that has like all the stuff that comes out. It's going to fit on this end. I'm very, very certain of it. So that's where all the accessories.
Yeah, it does.
So once you have your brush and you've got your sponge, one thing I did was I took a paper pumpkin box and cut off all the edges around it. And I have a piercing tool in here for like those really hard to get ones. And I've got my brush, just happen to have my extra one there. And then this is how it works. You roll and those little pieces come out. So that is what the intention of the brush is. Now I'm going to be honest with you. Some things come out easier than others. That's why I have this guy. So if it's a little more difficult than others, and actually these wreaths are kind of cool. I didn't do it, but you can pick up all the little, I didn't do it, but you could, and you could use your piercing tool to really get some dimension and like
Oh,
pull out the shape of the leaves. Yeah. And by the way, these cottage wreaths are carrying over. They're available right now. I don't think these ones are on sale right now because they were in the many dies. Those decals are on sale. Fabulous frames are on sale. But these cottage wreaths are available now and they're carrying over. So you could use your hands or take your pick tool to kind of be popping out all of that wreath. And I will show you, like, this is how much I use this box, right? So I use this a lot. It's probably time to throw it away. And like, sometimes you might not roll it just right. So you can try as hard as you can and you just can't get it out. You can try the piercing tool just as hard as you can and you can't get it out. I'll tell you what happened with these. I accidentally had it stuck in the teacup and I didn't realize it. And then I rolled another one through. So it just didn't get through deep enough. But if for some reason the little brushy brush isn't working, try coming in with your take your pick tool. I mean, with the piercing end of your tool, try coming in and doing that. I like to have multiples, by the way, at different stations throughout so that this is over here and that lives in one drawer and this is over here and it lives right by where I work. And then there's one that's right by where I do all my die cutting. So sometimes after a while, it's good to have like multiple. But anyway, I wanted to show you that because Peggy, you were asking about that. So now we can get back to our card. So, of course, we would stamp our season's greetings, and that's Evening Evergreen, which is so pretty. Evening Evergreen stays one more year, just so you know. So, in May, some of the colors will be going away, but Evening Evergreen stays, and it's beautiful. And that's either soft suede or Evening Evergreen right there. So what I did was, and I'll do it. I'm not going to show you every little step here, but I'll glue it here and put it on. And then I came in and I added my little dots. I got my ribbon on, so why don't I do that? I'll put my ribbon on right now. And I'll use some glue dots to put the ribbon on. Thankfully, I have replenished my glue dot supply. I got very, very low on that. Oh, by the way, I do sell adhesive packs. So I'll talk about that another day, but I sell all of the adhesives that I use in a basics kit. And it's a very good price and very happy to ship that to you so that you can get all, and we really do need all the adhesives, right? It's like you just need a different adhesive for every different thing. All right, so then we get our bow and take some time and cut some nice edges. And then we're going to come in with our Pearlized Enamel Effects and we're going to add little dots. And look, oh, you know what? Those are two different wreaths. Well, there that is. That's the Cottage Wreaths. There's a bunch of different wreaths. So we're going to take our Pearlized Enamel Effects and I just came in and I like odd numbers and I would just put a dot. Now you remember, if you're doing a surface like this, you want to cover the whole surface. If you're doing a surface like this, you want to cover the whole surface. We don't have a whole surface. So we don't want really large, like we want just nice, smaller, just touches, right? So you can see there, my globs or whatever are just a lot smaller. So I'm just going to come in and just do a tiny little dot, a tiny little dot. And how I did it was, and I tried to make them an equal size. How I did it was I did one over there, one over here. I did one here. And then I started kind of filling them in so that I would have them like centered, right? So I did, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then I kind of came in and started filling in some other ones. So there you go. The dots are a lot smaller, but they're still going to take as long to dry. So you definitely want to set that to the side to dry. But there you go. You've got some sweet little dots. And these Pearlized Enamel Effects actually came with the Cottage Wreath suite. So they were kind of meant to work together. So very sweet. So that's that card. And then on the inside, you would just put, so that's the inside and he looks perfectly fine. And then you would just put another piece of basic white right there. You could put a decal piece or whatever you want to do right there. And I put this on with dimensionals. And so that's going to be your card right there. So super sweet.
Very
Right.
sweet.
Very
Which
pretty.
one you guys like better so far?
Oh,
The first
boy.
one.
Which?
I like the first one.
First one better.
Yeah, it kind of really pops.
First
I like
one
the
better.
second
All
one.
right.
Cute. Very sweet. I mean, but they're all beautiful. I love them.
Thank you. They're very fun. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. All right, so now we're going to go to the next. All right, you guys, here, roll up your sleeves. We are going to get inky. Roll up your sleeves. This is, I was sending pictures last night. I sent a picture to Lynn yesterday. I said, well, I should be sending a message to customers about the sale, but this is what I am doing. And I like sent her all this paint in my hands and it was a big mess. I did eventually send the message out last night, but I realized some of you guys who, I haven't fixed your email yet. I got to forward it to you. So be on the lookout for that. I will get that to you. There is a big sale happening right now.
You got it, didn't we?
Doris, somehow yours got fixed, but I think Cindy's didn't get fixed yet. Lynn's is going to her old email. Anyway, I'm going to try to fix that when I'm on the road. So when I go, I'm leaving tomorrow and I'm going to be gone. So I won't be at Monday Stamp with Leela. And thank you, Carol, for covering. All right, so this guy, I think I didn't have him placed right when I rolled him through. It's just going to be reality, you guys. Sometimes you're going to roll it through and it's just not going to cut right. So you're going to need to come back in and do it again. Sometimes that is just reality. So some tips for that. Well, make sure you don't have anything in the die. I am famous for that. I leave like leftover pieces in the die, and then when you go to roll it through again, it just does not cut. So that would be the biggest one, I would say. So anyway, sorry about that. That is, but we're not going to see him anyway. So, so for this guy, you're going to take a piece of thick white. You're going to take this piece of the Boughs of Holly, 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to take this guy in 1/4 inch. So that's going to be 3 3/4 by 5. You're going to roll it through your, I just used the same one, Time Worn Type. You could use any different ones, but I just thought that looked really traditional with it. So you're going to glue all those and put them to the side. You're going to stamp piece. And I just kind of had that centered right there. And I think I did it in Evening Evergreen. But what I want to show you guys is how did we get these leaves? Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So how did we get these leaves? So this is where we start to get messy, Bessie. This is vellum. This is vellum. And I die cut it with the holly berry dies, right? See, here's a perfect example. This, if you leave something in the die like that, the next time it rolls through, you're not going to get as good of a cut. So you really want to make sure you pop all this stuff out before you roll it through again. That's a perfect example. But anyway, there's those dies. So this is vellum and Pearlized Enamel Effects, and then rolled through with dies. And then this is also that same technique we've been doing with Pearlized Enamel Effects. But look, you guys, we don't have any green. So how did we get there, right? We got there with our basic white. And I'm here to tell you I'm running low. on it. So I better load up on more. But I'm gonna do the shaded spruce, you guys. I'm gonna mix up some shaded spruce. So here's the deal. When you get ink, first of all, it's a great idea to purchase re-inker when you get your ink. So you got your ink pad, shaded spruce. It's a great idea to get re-inker at the same time, especially, well, all colors, but especially colors you use a lot, especially in colors if they go away. You want to make sure you have the re-inker for it. I re-ink my ink pads all the time. And so you can tell here, right here, you can tell my Evening Evergreen. Did I re-ink it? No. Should I have? Yes, because it's starting to get a little faint, right? So, re-inker, good just to re-ink your ink pad. But it's also fantastic for different techniques. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our pearlized, you know what I realize? I'm so excited. I have a box called popsicle sticks, and it's labeled and it has popsicle sticks in it, but are any of them over here? No. So we're gonna improvise. But anyway, I took my Pearlized Enamel Effects and I've got my re-inker, my shaded spruce, and I'm gonna put it off to the side initially. So I'm just gonna put a little bit. We don't know how much is enough. We don't know how much is too much. It's personal preference, right? You guys, I do need to go get that popsicle stick. I'm picturing like my hands, it's all bad. Can you just talk amongst yourself for a minute? I'll be right back.
Thanksgiving is next weekend.
Yeah.
I'm so
Anybody
sorry.
cooking?
Not me.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Thanksgiving is next weekend. I asked if anyone was going to be cooking.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah.
We are going to New Mexico to see Bob's mom, and Judy's cooking Thanksgiving for us on Saturday.
Oh, how nice.
I know. It's going to be lovely. I don't think I put enough pearlized effects here. I think I'm going to need to add more, but can you guys see what I'm doing? I took my popsicle stick and I'm coloring, and I'm slowly adding color to see what I like, right? Because if I were to put all of that in there, I would really, this is shaded spruce, this is shaded spruce. Look at the difference, right? So I know I want this lighter effect on the vellum. So now that I've done that, there's a couple different ways I can get the color over here. And I'm gonna show you 3 different ways. So this is a Brayer. Love my Brayer. Stampin' Up used to sell this Brayer. We don't anymore. I kept it. Highly recommend it. And I recommend the rubber one. This is I forgot the name of it, but I recommend the rubber one.
Versus
And
the
if you need
sponge,
information,
right?
let me know. It's just great. You can really get a lot of use out of it. So you can Brayer. You can use your blending brush. I did use a blending brush yesterday, and I cleaned it all off. It's still wet, as a matter of fact, but it all came out. So you can use your blending brush and still get life out of it. Or you could use a dauber. So you're going to get different looks depending what you do, and I'll show you what some of those are. If you're going to do a dauber, you're going to get a look kind of like this right here. And you may or may not like that look. I thought that might look really pretty on trees if you're doing that, just really in the background and then kind of coming back in and stamping some leaves. And then here, I think, well, I know I use the blending brush, so I'll show you that. And then what else? And then that was the Brayer as it started fading. So those are some different looks. And then just here, this is on cardstock as well. This is Dauber on cardstock. This was blending brush on cardstock. That was Brayer on cardstock. and that was Dauber on cardstock. So depending what look you want, you can really get a little different look for all of these. And so I'm liking kind of the shiny look of the blending brush. So I'm going to do that. So, and it's messy. So there we have it. So I have a cup of water right here, and I've got a paper towel right here. I've got a baby wipe right here, and I don't want to spill anything right here. So, so let's do it. So I'm going to put my brush in here, and you guys, I really think I just came over and started like blending. I really think that's what I did with the brush. So I really think I just kind of came in. And then of course, the more that this stuff dries or the more that this dries, you're going to end up with more like chalky, brushy kind of brush strokes. But you guys, that's it. That is as simple as it is to get that. And then you, if maybe you want a little more saturation, so you could add a little more. I really do need to add more. I really do. I mean, like, I am getting very low, so I gotta order more of this stuff. So if I want a little more saturation, then I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna add a little more. Now this is a silicone matte, like I said. Lynn suggested cleaning with alcohol ink, so I mean rubbing alcohol. So we'll give that a try. But here I'm gonna come in, and I'm not gonna waste. I'm not gonna do it off to the side, because that would waste it. And because I can see I'm really getting the look that I want right there. I do believe that I hit this with my heat gun. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to roll it right now, but I do believe that I hit this with my heat gun. The heat guns now, again, this older one, but I have the newer one. The newer ones have 2 dials. Whatever this was fine. I think it was the high heat. I just let it, I heated it, and then I just cut out a little section. Did the same thing with Old Olive, cut out a little section, and then just rolled it through and got my leaf, right? So how pretty would that be? So that is how we got both of those colors. I'm not gonna do any more than that. Well, I'll show you the Brayer and I'll show you the Dauber in action. But I think you guys can take it from here, like in terms of getting this on, hitting it with the heat tool, getting it through the embossing machine, and then getting your really beautiful leaf, right? So super pretty. And then that's the Old Olive one. So Old Olive reinker, same, right? And you could mix colors too, like it's super fun. And then I will show you how I did this guy. And then I put on little red dots there. So just really beautiful texture right there. I love this one actually. So
Beautiful.
So that's that guy. Now I'll show you how we got the green with the white dot on that. And I was copying. You guys, I get inspiration from the designer series paper. So one of the designs, if I can find it, had green with like white, let's see, it had green berries with the white accents, and it had the green stems. So I kind of picked my inspiration for my colors from this sheet here. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? Stampin' Up already figured out shaded spruce goes with Old Olive. You can put the greens there. There's the evening evergreen in there, and I can do some hints of white. So, so that's that. That was, I have not figured out what to do with that side, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I didn't do that side. I'm gonna get this guy soaking because I love my brushes and I don't want to waste my brush. But you guys, I have news about brushes. You guys want to hear it?
Always.
Mini brushes are coming.
Ooh.
Mini brushes. So those are coming in January. So we'll focus on today. But mini brushes are coming. All right. I at least got that guy going because you guys, I don't want to ruin my product. Like I use this for ink and I don't want to ruin it for that. So, all right. So that guy is soaking. Now, let's just do a little Dauber and let's just do a little Brayer. Oh, Enamel Effects, how I love you. It's going away. I mean, they're like literally, like I'm squeezing harder and harder and harder to get it out. So I better find a use for the red and the gray because otherwise I'll end up with a bunch of extras. All right, so for the dauber, I'm gonna come in here and let's do it on, I feel like I like it better on a cardstock. So let's just do it on a piece of cardstock. This one I kind of am gonna go over here, and then I'm just gonna come in lightly and build. Daubers are gonna give a different look. So it's gonna give that spongy. It does look like a tree background. But I could, you guys, I could absolutely come in and do like more of that. I could do that. I could come in and I could, what I love Daubers for is like edging, right? So I can kind of come in and edge like that. Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? That is pretty. Oh my gosh. I hope Shabby Chic comes back because I love that look. But anyway, so that's that. And then the final thing we'll do is a brayer. Now, Lynn and I both know the beauty of a jelly plate. So Stampin' Up never sold those, but if you have a jelly plate, it's going to give you kind of a larger surface. In the absence of a jelly plate, you can use a brayer. Here's the nice thing about a brayer. You can really get even coverage. So let's say you wanted to work with a background stamp. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Alrighty. So this is a new stamp coming next year too, in January. It's just a bunch of like dots. I don't know. It's a large background stamp. They gave it to everyone who went on stage. On stage was so fun. Oh my gosh. We got all stamps and papers and all kinds of things. So you can take this. Now you can see I'm getting a very even coverage, right? So I can really do that. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to brayer my stamp. And then I'm going to immediately get this. This is a shimmer white paper and I just happen to have it sitting here. So I'm going to immediately get that stamped. And there that is. Now you might think, okay, it's just a bunch of dots. And in fact it is, right? So that it's intended as a background. But what you can't see is there's a sparkle from the shimmer white and there's a sparkle a little bit from the pearls. And so I had actually done this yesterday too in some different colors. So you can see like there's a little bit of texture to it and can't find the other one. I did 2 grays yesterday. So this is really intended to be a background. So it's on its own, you know, it just kind of is a background, but then you start to build on it, build on it, build on it. Of course, this one's a little more whimsical. So, so anyway, that is a way that you can use the brayer. So, you know, when I really want to use it on, if it's still current, I want to do that one that like has that swirly, what's it called? This guy. I really want to do like different colors on here. So the way I might have like, I might treat this like an artist palette. I might have a few different colors, clean my brayer in between, and then just kind of put like a tie-dye look right there. Like I really, 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 really want to do that. But alas, there are only so many hours in a day. All right, so that is brayer, that is sponge, that is dauber, that is blender pen. Oh yeah, sponge. You can take any texture. You could take a sea sponge, you know, and kind of get an interesting effect with it. Like you could take any shape and make a stamp out of it, right? You could take your foam stamps if you have any of those old school. So truly just, you could have a lot of fun with that. So any questions on this guy before I move to the next?
You could even roll up wax paper and daub it in and then put it on your.
That is very cool. You could take wax paper and then you could adhere that, and that's a very cool background as well. Yes, I agree.
Very
Lynn.
cool.
Very fun. All right, well that is messy Bessie. I gotta come back. Now I'll tell you, I tried doing it with stencil And that, well, let's see with a brayer. Maybe I will. I tried doing it with it. Yeah. No, I tried doing it with, no, I'm going to have more to clean. Anyway, that didn't work so well. Oh, and then the final thing, I'll tell you what I did. I took an old Wink of Stella brush. So this was not my new. I took my old Wink of Stella, and then I just was kind of using it to, of course, now it's losing. Oh, I know. I put a little bit of water. It's kind of drying and losing some of it. I have to reactivate it with either more pearl or maybe some water. But I took my old Wink of Stella and then the same combination of ingredients. And then with StazOn ink, you can stamp and you can paint and you can color. So maybe a different day I'll show that. But it has a little bit of sparkle to it and it's kind of pretty. So anyway, if you guys want more with this product, I'm happy to do more with this product. I love it, but that is the main for today. Lynn, I know you are a mixed media aficionado. Is there anything else you would highlight before I go to the last card, which is really a fun fold?
What I did was I went, I would put it on, I would brayer it right on the paper itself. I wouldn't always use the stamp and then put it on the paper. I would just put it right on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I would do both.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. 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 All right. Yeah. And I think I had one where I did that too. So yeah, awesome. Great idea. All righty. So, so that is that guy. And I think it was 15 for those bottles. So, super fun. All right. Let me get that clean. And let me get this off to the side. So we have one more card that we're going to make. And really, most of the thing about this card is it's a fun fold, but it also has some of the enamel effects as well. So let me get all this stuff out of the way because it's messy. I was so proud. Bob came in the other day. He was making taffy apples. And he said, do you have any popsicle sticks? And I was able to like go to my shelf and I had a big bucket and it was labeled popsicle sticks. I was so
Good
proud.
job.
I was so happy. I'm like, yes, I do. He made taffy apples. He made Harry and David taffy apples. They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so now we are going to make this card. You guys, I like to make and send cards that maybe it's not just about the decoration, but it's about the messaging. It's like a little mini book. So this is a card. I wrote it for Kanika. Shh, I don't think she gets to watch all my videos. Kanika is a very, very, very dear friend, and we had the greatest time together. So I took a moment and I wrote out like how I'm grateful for her. And so like just on the cover, friends like you make this season special. And then it's just, hi, sweet friend, I'm grateful for you. And then thank you for being part of my life. Life is better with friends like you. And I'll show you those stamps. But it's not just the card. It's like a little journal or like a little story. And I've done that. I love to do this around the holidays and around Thanksgiving and just like enumerate ways that I'm grateful for people. And so, or for the person that I'm sending it to. So this card is kind of more, I think, about the journaling. Although this particular design, we've done it a million times and you could dress it up and dress it down. And then what I would show you is here's where I put the, I systematically went through and put little dots everywhere where there was room to put little dots.
Very
And
cool.
it's perfectly fine. You guys, I'm telling you, it's not gonna come off. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna send it in the mail.
And then you laid it open flat to dry.
I laid it like this to dry, and then I
Yeah.
did the white after the fact and let that dry. But I laid it to
Yeah,
dry like
yeah.
that
Yeah.
for a day, right? I mean, no harm done.
Yeah.
And then here's the white dots too. And I think those were on these little stickies. Actually, that is how I did that. These were on these little stickies. So, and honestly, I tried it with red and green in a combo, and I ended up with white. So, so let me tell you how we're going to get this card made. And I do have these measurements here. And again, how does the kit work? Like if you got the kit, I'll tell you, I give you a piece of this cardstock, and I give you exactly a piece of designer series paper, and then you've got to do more specific cutting and folding. But I do not give you any of the die cuts this time. So I'll just tell you right now, you want a piece of soft suede at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then designer series paper, 11 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now I want to tell you a tip. I was using this to do 11 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm like, I don't want to open that arm. Wah. That was just like the height of laziness. But 12 minus 11 3/4 is what? A quarter.
Hello.
So I just went over here and I cut off a quarter. That was it. I got to my 11 3/4. But you could very easily open your arm and do 11 3/4. So 11 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be your size because you're fitting it on a piece of 5 1/2. And then you're going to score it. And you guys can take a picture of this right here. You're going to score it at 1 3/4. You're going to score it at 4 3/4. And you're going to score it at 7 3/4. So again, 11 3/4, 5 1/4, score at 1 3/4, 4 3/4, 7 3/4. And then we're going to do our accordion fold. So we're going to go like that. Honey, I'm doing a, no, you can't. It's a super secret, Sam. You can't. You can't. He's making Christmas presents. He can't show you. It's super secret, Sam. He can't show you. He wanted to brag, but it shall have to wait. But I saw it out of the corner of my eye. It was very exciting. It's using Stampin' Up fabric from how many years ago? How many years ago was that fabric? Like so long ago. All right. So this is what you're going to put on your card base. And I'm telling you, this is a great sketch. Whether you have this paper or don't have this paper, do it with any paper. You're going to want to make sure that you've got like the right orientation so that your words aren't sideways or upside down or whatever. And then I thought that was maybe a little boring, so I wanted to put another piece there. Now on my sample, I had garden green. No, not. I had evening evergreen. On my sample, I had just another piece of the Boughs of Holly. This, I just kind of grabbed what was in my line of sight. So it doesn't matter. This just is 1/4 inch in, so I think it was 1 1/4 by 5. But then that's it, you guys. Then you can decorate with whatever you want. So I did it with the decals because I was trying to stick with common products that I was using in some of the other cards. So that was the larger decal and then the smaller decal. Now this stamp set is, because I wanted a friendship stamp set, I drew on some others. So this is Christmas to Remember. And it's got love and joy, friends like you. So I really wanted to stick kind of with the friends theme. So I found that. And then this is such a cute stamp set. This also has friends. And so life is better with friends like you. Nice to have you by my side. So that is just what I did. I made Koniko this little card, friends, and then hi, sweet friend. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being part of my life. Life is better with friends like you. So, and it was just a super simple, like decal, stamp, bow, and then decal. And then I came in and just added those extra little poinsettias. So, little, decorative touches and let them dry. So that was it. So before I show you a bunch of samples, also with Boughs of Holly, I don't have any other samples with this, with these. I'm in swaps galore. Nobody has been using those pearl enamels, so I don't have any swaps with them. But before I show you more samples with Boughs of Holly, are there any other questions on the cards I just showed? I will tell you the kit is only the card bases and the designers. It's half a pack of ribbon. It's half a pack of these guys. It's 1/4 pack of the designer series paper. I threw in an extra sheet of this gold. They're cut to 4 by 6. And this one is the right size though. And then it's the card bases and the envelopes. It's a little different. No die
Very
cut.
pretty. Yep.
No
very
die
pretty.
cuts. So it's a great way to get a sampler, and you can't even buy them right now anyway. And then the instructions, it's really like a recipe more than instructions. I kind of give sizes, but I don't really give step by step, and I don't really give photos. But you can come back and watch this video. I'll upload it. So if nothing else, I'm going to show you some other cards with the Boughs of Holly. So this is a swap from Karen Titus, and it's a gift card holder.
Oh, pretty.
And I will put this video on YouTube. So if there's one you want, you can never come back and ask me to measure it. Happy to come back and measure it or take a closer photo for you. But otherwise, we're just going to do a little drive-by right here. So this guy is like a sidestep card, and so really pretty. And there's those leaves, those wreaths, and it looks like it's kind of 3 of them, and then the cute little bow with the glitter paper. So that's Boughs of Holly. A little bit of vellum right there. Really pretty.
Pretty.
So that's that guy. Here's a easel card. This is what inspired me to give you guys a piece of distressed gold. So if you wanted to, you could die cut. So this is the florets wreath. You can, this is the florets oval. You can see the difference. So this is the fabulous frames, and this is the florets. The florets dies are available. The florets stamps are available. It's just the paper and the gems that are gone. So
The bundle's available.
What?
The bundle.
The bundle, the stamps and the dies are available.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my kit, which has the cards from last week that I showed you, and then enough paper to make those. That's available.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another. So here's that same label that we were looking at, but it's going up to the left instead of down to the right. So really pretty. Pretty stamps. That's Kathy Miller. Here, now I just happen to know this. This is the designer series paper from Boughs of Holly, and then those are 2 others. Really pretty. And there's our fern embossing folder that we love.
Yeah.
Here, I know that these are from, that's that paper I showed you a close-up of, and with the fern. And then this is the ribbon you guys get, the mini ruffled ribbon. So really pretty. Oh, this was my 12 weeks of Christmas card. So if you want to see instructions for this, I did a 12 weeks of Christmas video on how to make that. And so that I just love that poinsettia pattern. So that is a really fun fold to make. So peace and joy.
Is it hard?
So that's it, you guys. That is it for today. So
is that a hard fold to make?
Was this a hard fold to make?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a band right there.
Yeah.
And I give like really very clear instructions with close-ups. Like I give all the sizes, and no, it's cutting layers, right? So you cut these 3 layers, these 3, these 3. You cut this layer, you cut these.
It's really interesting.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this. Of course, the first time I saw it, it was a hippo card I got in a swap. And then I've since made it a few different ways, but I did a step-by-step video twice now. We did one with Harvest, I did one with 12 weeks of Christmas, and then there's 2 PDFs. So
nice.
Give it a try. It's really, really pretty. So you guys, that's it. I really recommend you get these guys. Super fun. I will be using them again. Yes, your hands may end up looking like that, but no, I love it. All righty, I'm going to turn this off. Anything else from anybody else?
No,
Alrighty.
Oh,
I think it was fun.
It is fun. It is fun. Peggy, I told you today was not for the faint of heart.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that was fun to watch, and the cards were beautiful.
Yeah, it was good.
Alrighty. All right. Well, anything from anybody else, or we're going to close? And oh my gosh, it was really long today. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you all. Bye.